Okay, hi, this is Lisa Detel. Welcome to the Hutchinson's Veterans Outreach Program. Today we have with us Mary Hutchinson, okay, from the Chamber of Commerce. Now I understand you're the president of the Chamber here.
I am.
And beautiful building.
Thank you. We are in the historic Hutchinson Hotel, right on the corner of Main Street and Washington, or as I like to say, the corner of Happy and Sparkly.
There you go.
It's very rare that somebody would walk in the door and not find a bunch of people smiling at them and ready to help them. So for whatever needs they have. So we do tend to be, glittery.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Very nice. It's always good to see a smiling face.
It is.
Now, for a lot of veterans coming here to Hutchinson from different areas, don't necessarily always contact the Chamber of Commerce because they don't know about it.
Right.
It's not really on their list of things to do. It's like if they want to go job hunting, they go place to place, or they'll check the one ads or things like this. If they want to find different activities, they go to different ads and things like this.
Right.
But you have this all together in one place.
We're a one-stop shop.
So you're all inclusive in everything that's going on around
Right.
town.
So if you're a business and you want to start a business, you go to the one-stop shop at the city. If you are moving to town, we're the one-stop shop. And so we have relocation packages. We have information about different businesses. So we have a wall with business cards and business information. So if you're looking for a specific service, or maybe you are looking for schools, or you want to know what other opportunities there are on the community, that would be us. Okay. We tell people all the time, if you have a question and you're not sure who to go to, just call us. We'll help you figure out who to go to. And it might be us.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That comes in really handy, especially if you don't know someplace.
Yeah.
Now, you also do a lot of outreach to help veterans connect with different jobs, from my understanding.
Yes. So we've been connected with Tim. Tim Burley's been on the show before, and we work with the county as well, Veteran Services. And so we have a number of businesses that are part of the Yellow Ribbon program, and so they are willing to, one, hire veterans. Number two, help veterans out if they have a need. Maybe they have a service that they can provide or product that can provide at a discounted rate. So we try to keep connected with that as well. So if you're a business watching today and you're like, wait, what? You can give us a call too. So we'll get that twofer in today.
Nice, nice. So you basically find the right veteran with the right job.
Yeah, I say that we're a connector. And so we connect them to people who are looking for their type of work. We know where they can post their resume locally to be able to get connected. And right now, I mean, we're still in COVID-19. And so people are still looking for jobs and people are still hiring for jobs. So right now it's a matter of matching skill sets. And as you well know, and maybe everybody watching doesn't know, is that veterans are very well trained. They are well trained to be loyal. They are well trained to show up on time, because the not showing up on time is not tolerated. Exactly. But they also have such a deep skill set. My favorite example we were talking about earlier, Louis Goldstein, who is from Hutchinson, did a great program a number of years ago. We were at Goebels and we were talking about hiring veterans. But the number one key was that veterans speak, military speak, does not match civilian speak. And so a 4-year degree in supply chain probably isn't even at the level that somebody in the military would have had overseas, managing all the different pieces and parts to get equipment and supplies across oceans, cargo ships, cargo planes, and we're talking about millions and millions of dollars. And so having a bridge there is really important. And so I always think of that when I'm thinking about veterans, and I think back to Louis saying they're very qualified. They're not coming back thinking they're just going to live off the fat of the land. They need something to do. We need to keep busy. They want something to do. Mm-hmm. And so providing a life for your family, providing something for yourself to feel good. I mean, we all feel good when we have a job, when we have something to do. That's really important. And so when we can make those connections and help businesses understand, maybe they're seeing a lot of veteran applications, but they're not saying the same thing because they just don't understand. That's okay. We can find the right catalyst to help you through that process.
Which is extremely helpful nowadays because, yeah, the language isn't always the same.
Right. Yeah.
Now, we also talked about day trips.
Yeah.
Which
So
is kind
one
of
of the things that
interesting.
people don't, so the chamber, we are here to support, promote, and engage the business community. We are also the tourism arm for the city. And so some people call it the CVB. It used to be Convention and Visitors Bureau, which is a lot. And people go, what's a Convention and Visitors Bureau, right? We're tourism. And so what does that mean? It means that we help draw people to Hutchinson, but we have a whole wall over here of places in greater Minnesota that they have our information and we share their information. So if you're looking for a day trip or maybe you want a weekend away and you're just not even sure where to start, and maybe flipping through your computer or your phone is just not your jam. Well, we have all sorts of books from all over the state of places that you can go and things you can do. Just like we have our Much in Hutch book.
Exactly.
They have their book. I mean, it's not as cool a name, obviously, but, so if you wanted information about going to Alexandria or Duluth or Pipestone or New Ulm or any one of the great locations that we have in the state, it's still keeping it local. And to keep everybody within the city limits, there's so much to see in Minnesota. And so I always just encourage people to come in and see what there is. Maybe just seeing it on the wall might spark some ideas of what you might be able to do or want to do.
And then you have the listings for what to do right here in Hutch.
Yeah, so we have a whole wall of just Hutchinson tourism. And if you live in Hutchinson, yes, Hutchinson does have tourism. You might not realize it, but we have such great offerings for people, and people want to see history, people want to see art, people want to shop and eat and experience. And now that the loose line is paved, that's been a whole game changer for us because it just makes it so much easier for people to come out. And so maybe there are things in Hutchinson you don't even realize are here.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I'm sure there's also places where if you're, well, in a little bit more reserved area because with this virus, nobody really knows. And so you want to find out where all the parks are, or where some places you can take your kids and just, go and have an adventure for the day.
Right.
All they would have to do is get a hold of you and...
Yeah, we make it really easy. So right now, you can come into the chamber if you want to. You can wear a mask if you want to. If you're not comfortable with that, that's okay too. If you want to call us and we make a package for you and we deliver it out to the curb, we're happy to do that as well. And so we pick and choose. So we ask some questions. What is it that you're interested in? It's like if you're coming to move here. Do you have kids? Are you interested in churches? Do you like to hike? Do you like to fish? What are your interests so we can match you with those? Maybe you have an interest in horses. Well, we're going to hit you up with equal access real quick, right? So it's getting to know the caller or the guest who's coming in to find out what they're interested about.
Okay. Now, you also had talked about you have something going on with the American Legion that you do.
Yep. So one of the things that we have learned is that if a veteran is coming in and into Hutchinson and maybe they're new or maybe they're returning and they don't really know a lot of people, we have a couple of different programs. So we have Business After Hours and Business Connection. Now, right now, of course, they're in a little bit of a timeout. They're in the COVID timeout corner. But when those get back going again, if you're a member of the Legion or your employer is a member of the Chamber, you can come to any of those. There's no cost to attend, but it's a great way to meet people. It's a great way to learn what a business is and does, because we typically don't see the backside. Exactly. Right? So it's really fun to be able to see what does it look like when you go deeper into a business. What does innovative foam look like when you get past the door? Because usually it's only seeing things like this from innovative foam, and you go, oh, that's that business in town. Well, come and meet Dean, see the big, huge machines that he has, and the tiniest little laser and wire that he uses to make his creations that he ships all over, right? It's those types of things that people enjoy.
Oh, yeah.
But then all of a sudden, you're like, oh, Lisa, look, did you see that? My name's Mary. Yeah, and all of a sudden we have something in common. And so I think that people don't always understand or give credit to that connection of networking. And I've seen it so many times here now, especially with COVID, people saying, I'm so grateful I knew who to call or who I could call. We had a young gentleman returning to Hutchinson. He had moved to Wilmer for a job, came back, and he said, I had a furnished apartment or furnished place over in Wilmer. So when I got here at the end of March, but he knew that he could call and he could get furniture because he knew who to call, because he'd had developed relationships, and having that network of people, he could call up and go, I have no furniture, I need help. And they were able to work with a business in town to be able to make that happen. We tell people all the time, you need to have a network before you need your network.
Exactly.
Because it is so much easier to say, Lisa, I have a challenge and I'm hoping that you can help me make it an opportunity. Can you work with me?
Exactly.
Versus saying, hi Lisa, I'm Mary from the chamber. Mm-hmm. You might have seen me on TV once or twice, but right now I have this problem. You don't know who I am. It's a lot easier to say no to somebody you don't know. Exactly. And it's so gratifying to be able to say yes. Those are things that I think are really important. So again, if you're a member of the American Legion or you're working somewhere else and they're a member of the chamber, you can attend these events. One's early morning and one's in the late afternoon into the evening. We usually have them once a month. And it's just a great way to mix and mingle and learn something.
Days,
so Business Connection is typically on the first Friday of the month.
Okay.
And we do it really early before work. And everyone, it's very structured, it's only an hour. Everyone gets to say, hi, I'm Mary, I'm with the chamber, and I'd like you to know this today. Maybe it's about job postings, maybe it's about Crazy Days is going to actually be happening in 2020. You're going to be able to say, hi, I'm Lisa, and this is what I'm doing.
Exactly.
I have no barriers in my life, and I do whatever I want, and I can build whatever I want. That's from a different story. Those things, I'll never forget the very first one we did last year. I had 3 phone calls. Hey, that lady who does the cleaning, I forgot to grab her card and she had to leave early for an appointment. Can you give me her name? Yeah. That's priceless to me because you're connecting a business to a business, you're connecting a person to a person, and that's why I love this job, is because we are being the connection point.
Very nice, very nice. It's sometimes we tend to overlook just those little people that we run into, just even at brief amounts of time, just to say hi.
Yeah.
And we tend to overlook those little connections that we meet every day.
Well, and if you're reminding people that you're around, you could be, everybody has a long list of things they need to do, right? And once your list is over 3 things, something's going to get lost, right? Every day of my life.
Mine are all on the calendar.
But if you have somebody on your list, but they're maybe down in their number 12 on your list because it's just something that just keeps falling off, and now you see somebody, well, let's make that appointment right now. Or, hey, can you help me do this right now? I've seen so much business happen on the spot at these types of events. It's also keeping you top of mind. Like, oh my gosh, that's right, I need to order water for the office again. Or, oh gosh, that's right, my water cooler needs to be cleaned again, right? I need to call because now I see John or Renee and I think, oh, Tri-County Water. It's just, it puts you top of mind. And that's one of the things that I've learned from businesses over the years. Sometimes they're participating just to be top of mind again.
Yep, exactly.
Don't forget that we are still here.
Exactly. Well, even the way we met, the first time we met, we actually talked on the phone.
Yeah.
And then we met again at Pain Free Patriots opening.
Yep.
And then, you know, I got a call from somebody talking about Hutchinson and wanted to know a little bit more. And your name just clicked into my head, and I said, you know, I got to go do that show.
Yeah.
And I got to get you on the show because you have so much valuable information for people.
Yeah.
But you're such a kind of a hidden resource out there.
There's so many people that don't know what the chamber is, and they think it's something connected to the city. They think that it's something that is only about businesses.
Yeah, exactly.
And so although a good portion of what we do is about business, it's about connecting people, we are not part of the city of Hutchinson, although we work very well with them. And our lodging tax is through an ordinance that the city council has. So we collect that from them. They collect it from the lodging. They pass it through to us. But we are not, I mean, you know, somebody said, well, Gary's signing your paycheck. No, Gary's not signing my paycheck because I don't work for Gary. I don't work for Matt. But again, we work really well together. And I think that that's part of it. People just need to get over that hurdle. We're not political, right? We're an advocate for business. We're an advocate for our community and what's best.
And both the business and the people who are actually looking.
100%, because the most valuable resource any business has is their people.
Exactly.
And they're looking for people who are dependable, loyal, who are capable, competent, and maybe on occasion you smile, right?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
These days, so much of what happens in a business is trainable. You know, the technical parts, we hear that more and more and more. And don't get me wrong, you still have to go to medical school if you want to be a doctor. You still got to go to dental school if you want to be a dentist. Mm-hmm. But there's so much they can train. They're really looking for people who can show up on time, who are dependable, who are loyal to the work, and want to feel good about what they're doing.
Exactly. And a lot of that's fall into that category.
Right smack dab in the middle is this untapped potential. And I don't know why people can be nervous about that or scared of that. But I think that if you bring in an intermediary like yourself or Tim to just explain to you as a business person where this vet is coming from, because vets don't like to necessarily talk about where they're coming from. Yeah. They've seen things that we will never understand. They've experienced things that I know I'll never understand. But just to have some sense of what it is and how they can help your business. And we have a number of businesses that are owned by veterans. And so we want to make sure that they understand that, number one, we're grateful that they serve our country. I do come from a military family, so that might get me a little bit going on occasion.
There you go.
But also that they've chosen to have a business here. And if you're new to the community, we're grateful that you've chosen Hutchinson. We know that, and we're learning very quickly in the last month, there's a lot of people who want to have the stability and the safety of a community like this.
Exactly.
And so we're seeing that uptick, and so we're happy to have anybody who wants to come and live a vibrant life here.
Very nice, and it's a beautiful little town.
Yeah.
You know, well, I shouldn't say little, we're growing a lot.
My goodness, I'm looking forward to seeing census. Number one, if you have not filled out your census, please answer the phone calls or dig the piece of paper out from a pile. Census is really important.
Yep, I did mine online.
Thank you. It's so important. Why is the census important? Because that's how dollars are allocated. It is how our politicians are literally, our lines are drawn because of the census. And so it's really important for you and your voice and your family to be represented. So if you think you're in an apartment and you don't need to fill it out, you do. If you just moved into your house and you haven't filled one out yet, you do. We need you because that's how we're going to get money for veteran services. That's how we're going to get money for services for our entire community. And I think that we've learned, I know I have in the last month and a half, that who is representing you and who's making choices of who is going to be working in your area makes a huge difference for
Definitely.
a lot of people. And so if nothing else, social unrest has taught us that we need to be open to listening and learning.
Exactly.
And also that we need to make sure that we're learning who is representing us.
Definitely.
So,
Definitely. Well, thank you very much. I appreciate giving me your time.
absolutely. Happy to do that.
Being here at the Chamber of Commerce building. I've
Yeah.
never actually been in here, so this is kind of a new
Yeah.
one for me too. Love what they did out there.
Yeah.
In the lobby out there. Some nice seating out there. Sounds like a good place to just come in here someday. If
Yep.
it's raining,
It's
that's a
actually
great place
rentable.
to go.
It's actually rentable. So if you have a small event, you can rent it out there. We can connect you to that person. And if you have more questions, go to explorehutchinson.com. We are very proud of Much and Hutch and the work that we've done under that hashtag. A short, quick story. We didn't want it to be about the chamber. It's not that part of our ego. It wasn't for me. So we inserted into our logo our website because it was really about driving people, no pun intended, to the website to learn more about Hutchinson. And so we actually won an award for the program that we did when we switched over. We still use the chamber logo, of course, but when we're doing Explore Minnesota, Explore Hutchinson work, and using the hashtag of Much and Hutch, it's award winning. I'm just saying we're that cool. So, and I'm proud to be able to represent Hutchinson. I wouldn't be here if I wasn't. And it makes a difference. We make a difference for people. And so if we can make the difference for one person today or another person tomorrow, that's what we work for.
Exactly.
Thank
So
you so
anybody
much.
out there, just come on over
Come
or
on over, give us a
and-
call. We're super easy. We're at 587-5252.
All right.
So it makes it easy to get a hold of us.
Thank you.
Thank you.